Okay, so we're back again. Wasn't that an awesome break? But I said I'd be talking about things like philosophy, ideas, engineering, and because there's a lot of different people on this planet. We got a lot of us. I hear about overpopulation. I hear about overuse of resources is more accurate, I think, than overpopulation. I think we probably have plenty of room. I read something the other day where someone was saying that if you took all the people on the planet and put them all shoulder to shoulder, they'd fit in one city. Now, I'm not so sure about that. That seems a pretty tight fit. But 6 billion people shoulder to shoulder, yeah, you could probably fit it inside a decent sized state down in the US. So I don't know if overpopulation or bad allocation of resources is really the problem. We've got people starving, and then we've got people who live in such opulence they can't even appreciate how well they live. So because we're predators, that makes us one of the most numerous predators on the planet, barring insects, of course. And yet, we don't kill each other all the time. Yeah, the last couple hundred years, we're pretty much constantly at war. I had a friend of mine and I were talking about that. He says our natural state is a state of war. And I think our natural state is vying for the chief of the pack. And I think that's what it all breaks down to is, pardon the expression, but a pissing contest between rich people. And we're the most successful predators on the planet because we have the ability to have a city of 100,000 where there's a few scattered battles around rather than bloodletting constantly. And by scattered battles, I mean gangs, I mean muggings, all these things. That's the small trying to dominate the big. We're one of the most numerous predators on the planet. We're predators, not necessarily beasts of war. But with that, violence is the tool of our trade, tool of our existence. But it's also led us from living in fallen logs and caves and whatever shelter we could find to what we call our civilization, cities and towns and roads and cars and guns and rockets and cannons and you name it. It's all led from our desire to be more than what we are. People talk about people trying to dominate other people like that's necessarily a bad thing. I don't think it is. I think it's part of our natural makeup. I've been married a long time, and my wife dominates me in some ways. In some ways I dominate her in a conversation. I'm told I can be overpowering. But when it comes to a financial decision, most of the time I'll defer to her greater wisdom. Like I've mentioned earlier, I'm a little ADD, and will tend to be a little scattershot. But the idea that I had was to use the backdrop of our violent nature, to explain our constructive nature. To go from what the first tool was and slowly evolve up to what we've got today. Maybe I'll go if my brain can wrap itself around it. Maybe we'll go from using a stick and a rock and slowly evolve our way up to a shotgun, nuclear weapons, and a repeating rifle. Later.